This is Yanagi, one of the Baki prisoners, and maybe after watching this video, you may think he is without a doubt the strongest. But so is this and this. I'm sure you remember his master. Well, we have Yanagi again doing certain things. Bro has been revealed as the biggest monster in all of Baki at this point. This is during a side manga I'll talk about in today's video, but the name is on screen now. Featuring the story of Katsumi's brother, Yanagi's first ever defeat, the inclusion of various Garuden characters, and even the father of Kozue. You remember Baki's girlfriend? Well, maybe, as she hasn't appeared in the manga now for 12 years. But the official Baki mobile game does release art like this, so who knows what's going on with that. Well, her father is a monster as well, but Yanagi may do some certain things to him in this manga. But first, let's go over his showings in the main series. Yanagi, potentially the most dangerous prisoner who is a master of the Way of the Void. Capable of breaking glass that blocks rocket launches with ease, blitzes regular people, was the one who took out Goki's eye in the past, and feels as though he could have killed Goki during that fight, with Goki stating alongside Jack he's the only other to force him into defeat. Skilled at using weapons of all kinds, was able to fend off Baki and Goki at the same time, also able to one-shot Baki by slapping his face, should work on anyone really not prepared, one breath is all it takes. It's stated that if he strikes someone with his poisoned hand, death will be the result, as it rots the flesh and gets rid of bone marrow. Considered a assassination practice. Can use Bender the Whip Strike, one of the most powerful techniques in the Buckyverse. Only from what we've seen in the story so far, Yujiro was able to stop the pain, and it took a whole chapter of him doing stuff like this. However, Baki didn't show much pain from Yanagi's version, so it's possible that Yujiro and Baki's version is superior in creating raw pain. But of course, Yanagi also has the poison aspect as well. Survives a beating from Baki and also defeats Doyle. Challenged by Motobe. In your first time reading the series, Motobe wouldn't seem much of a threat to Yanagi, until you realise it's Weapon Motobe and see what he did in the Musashi arc, meaning Weapons Motobe is pretty much God compared to Yanagi, which is clear during this fight. Side note, Motobe doesn't really do anything after this fight until the Musashi arc, perhaps some respect to Yanagi for gaining Motobe's attention and willing to challenge him as he thought it would be fun. Motobe also states that Yanagi has mastered so many more techniques he could ever hope to, kinda a insane statement. The arrival of Yujiro and Goki to Yanagi as well, man really do be surrounded by three powerhouses at this point. Something on reflection is pretty crazy, and of course Yujiro ends him, but Yanagi wasn't going to give up even with his hands being out of use now. Later on it's stated that him touching someone's eyes will result in blindness, for example what happened to Doyle, and even Baki would have died if it wasn't for the 4,000 years of Chinese magic juice and of course his Hanma blood. So perhaps if Yanagi gets his poison within anyone else's bloodstream that isn't a Hanma, it might be GG. In Revenge Tokyo, he claps a group of officers surrounding him with guns, but that's really it. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, he was the one who killed Kozue's father, someone we've never seen in the main Baki story, but this was actually revealed in another ongoing spin-off manga, Urenchi, which goes over the story of Katsumi's older brother, who is also a powerhouse in his own right, with the story going over how Yanagi was captured the first time. As if you think about it, the prisoners were all captured within cells at the start of the arc in the manga, meaning they would have had to be defeated or captured before all of this. Naturally, this manga will be providing more feats for Yanagi, on top of his Revenge Tokyo chapter showing him with a hook and escaping from the prison again. Not really any training per se that we got to see. However, those may not be needed considering his already very broken abilities. So for Yanagi, there's a lot of possibilities, and of course he's very dangerous. However, I don't know what he's going to do with his hook though. Let me know what you think about that down below. I think it's safe to say if the prisoners were to return in the current story, they will be much stronger and have major impact on a lot of the characters, and I believe it would give a lot of the lower tier characters or characters that aren't part of the Hanma tree a chance to really shine and I guess train up before they have a crack at Jack. I wonder how the prisoners would react to the likes of Pickle. Pretty interesting stuff. But coming back to Yorenchi, everyone needs to read it, a requirement at this point, just to see the pure insanity of Yanagi throughout, alongside the writing of this series being some of the best in all of Baki. Now watch this video and subscribe here on Mysterious Chad.